Hey guys, welcome to ANX Gamecast, level 143. I'm Unbiased Ann, and I'm here with Genesis and Ray. How's it going, guys?
It's going.
It's going good.
Pick up what you got over there.
I'm one in. So.
He's
Oh,
wired.
look at that. Oh, damn.
But you know what? Y'all don't sponsor us, so y'all can guess it without me telling y'all. So.
Yeah. Which was that? Is that the watermelon?
It is a watermelon.
It's decent.
Oh, yeah.
It's decent.
Yep.
All right, well, what are y'all excited to talk about today?
Ray, what you got?
You know, I was excited to talk about round 3, which would be the review that we're going to do for a movie. But instead, I think I'm excited for round 2, but I don't want to do spoilers yet.
No, go ahead and give him a teaser.
Man, has to do with our favorite topic for the past 3 weeks now. A little.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Stop the preview.
Yeah. Turn it off. I'm excited to talk about Xavier's Men. Pause.
Menopause.
Unbiased Stan.
What you got?
I feel the same way as Ray. I was originally excited to talk about round 3, our review, and then when I heard about what we were talking about in round 2,
Yeah, it kind of
Mortal
shifted.
Kombat or whatever
Oh.
you did there.
Oh, she dropped
That's
the
what I'm
full
excited.
teaser.
Oh,
She said the full Monty.
well, she missed that one part. Mortal Kombat.
One.
Oh, all right, there you go. So anyway, I just can't remember. I'm supposed to do something here. We've done so many shows. Plug stuff, right?
Yep.
Hey, how about you plug some stuff, man?
How about we
That doesn't sound right. I don't like
pause.
that.
Pause. Big thing we need to plug. First, y'all.
It's not coming out any better.
Hey, we need to plug the giveaway, which is now live. I'm pretty sure when this comes out, it'll still be going.
Yep.
There's a particular video out there with all the giveaway rules. You know what we're giving away?
I've heard.
I
I've heard some
know.
good stuff.
Anybody?
PlayStation gift
How
card,
much?
$100.
$100 PlayStation.
The honey?
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Yeah. And again, if we get to 2,000 subscribers before the end of the giveaway, we will pull two winners. So it would actually be 2 people winning the $100 gift card. So yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all watch the videos. Check it out.
This particular prize open to family and members of the show.
Family, probably members of the show. No, no.
Nope.
I'm a guest.
So I'm gonna try to put that card somewhere. How did the card? If I remember, I'll put the card up there with the link to that video. Y'all ready to get in round 1?
Let's go.
Yes.
Round 1.
Round 1. Anime that we're currently watching.
Unbiased Stan.
What you got?
Dragon Ball Z.
Last time.
So, right now what's happening is everybody is preparing for the World Martial Art Tournament.
Okay.
I guess it's called Cell Games also.
Cell Games, yeah.
So,
I mean, he got on TV and said it. So
he did. He
Why?
hijacked the TV station
what you got?
Why is it called Cell Games?
because it's Cell. Like
His name is Cell, and he's
Because they're about to sell it.
no, not that Cell.
Oh,
Cell with a C.
they're about to gel it.
Oh Lord.
anyway. So,
Angle.
Cell has hijacked the TV station. Let everybody know I'm
Studio B.
about to destroy all of you people.
Mm-hmm.
So
The viewing audience.
yeah,
Everybody. I think he killed somebody on camera.
I think he did too.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So
Alright, cool.
everybody's trying to get the heck out of town. He's
Yeah.
not having it.
You remember when they had those what was it, hurricane floods or whatever
Yeah.
was going on, and everybody was driving the wrong way on the highway to try to get out of Houston
Dodge.
or whatever.
It was Houston. Yeah,
That's what it looked like.
Okay.
That's what it looked like.
it did.
Yeah.
So and then meanwhile, all of like the regular characters are just trying to get prepped, ready to go. Trying to figure out what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And Goku and Gohan come out of the hyperbolic chamber,
Time chamber.
and they did give us Roshi gave kind of a flashback to the first, I guess.
There was a lot of flashbacks in these.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
So, and this is interesting.
Okay.
Android 16
Yeah.
is like, I will help you guys.
Well, he's been helping the whole time. For
He
real,
has
for
been.
real.
He has been but this was a little different when he came like hobbling over and he's like, I will help y'all if y'all can, help prepare me.
Yeah. If you fix me, I will help you.
Yep. So that's good to know. That's one more,
Yeah.
So anyway, that's about it. It ended with they were trying to figure out who's going to go to the hyperbolic chamber next, and Goku and Gohan are going to go off and do their own training, I guess.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they left on a cliffhanger. They were
Yeah.
like, we're not going back in. Y'all can go back in.
Yeah,
It's
y'all
cool.
go ahead.
No.
So the time chamber, just because I know you're a little lost, just a little bit.
Yeah, I've been watching the show through someone's eyes.
So it gives you a year's worth of training in one day.
There you go.
One day in the real world is really a year inside the. So you can go in for a total of 2 days. So they came out, they did their first day. Actually, they cut it short, and they were like, we don't need to go back in. Y'all can go back in.
Yeah.
So we'll see what's up with that. I mean, I've seen it, but anyway.
Yep, that's it.
Still liking it. Hot Trunks got a haircut.
Trunks got a
So
haircut.
now that he got a haircut, I'm thinking you're not even liking it as much.
No, please. Yeah, I mean, I really don't feel like much happened here.
No.
So I guess I'm still liking it. I don't hate it. So
Bad dream, right?
Yeah.
Segment, flashback to like a recap what happened. And then how we got here with Goku and how Goku got to that particular moment with Perfect Cell and how he got there. And then a flashback to tell you the beginnings of the World Martial Arts Tournament. So they went back and showed you some Dragon Ball footage.
now I
of
do
the old
have
tournaments.
I do have one question for you.
Okay.
Why did they come out of the hyperbolic chamber with yellow hair? Because I thought that was when they were like Super Saiyan or whatever, but they're just walking around like normal.
Well, that was the whole point. Once they figured out how to do the Hulk smash, you know, get swole, and they figured and Goku figured out, no, it's not gonna work because Goku is known for figuring out things. So whatever. I'll let him make it.
I'll allow it.
Yeah, just this one time though. He decided, hey, it takes up so much energy to transform, and it's so hard to stay in this form. Let's just try to stay Super Saiyan all day long.
Just saying.
Oh,
Just saying.
Okay.
Let's just try to stay in that form and just see what happens. So we don't really know what came of that. Vegeta noticed it instantly, like they're Super Saiyan, but they're acting like totally normal.
Right.
So, I think they'll explain it more.
Okay.
Once it happens. Next show. All right, I said I wasn't gonna watch it. I said I wasn't gonna watch it no more, but
You watched it.
I got on a tread. It was on. It's still bad. The only thing that I will give it is at least it's making fun of itself.
What's it called?
Bastard.
Oh, just Bastard. Okay.
Bastard. So it's making fun of itself. It's so bad it's making fun of itself. So it's like I give you credit for that. It's like they break down the fourth wall, and I still ain't put Fake Tana tripping.
Fourth
It wasn't
wall.
me. It was Fake Tana. She tripping.
No, it was you.
No, it was me. So they break down the fourth wall a lot, kind of show like, this show is stupid. The fact that the main character wasn't even in the first 3 episodes was dumb, and like they break down that fourth wall and talk shit about their own show. So
It's very self-aware is what you're saying.
yeah, and it's playing more towards, I think, the base, which is that's a bad thing. That particular type of anime and misogyny and sexism and that kind of stuff was what made me not want to watch it anymore in the first place. So I think it's going more towards that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because you only have that one audience, so you might as well give them more of what they want.
When do you pull up the poncho flag and say that's enough? If it's already irritating you this much,
You mean
pull the flag.
you raise the flag to get more.
Yeah, but in this case, we're gonna raise the flag to not watch
Get the
it
check.
anymore. Yeah,
Well, no,
get
you
the
already
check.
paid.
Well, ponchos you would. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you pay up front. She don't know what we talking
I've
about.
never been to Ponchos.
You've never been to ponchos?
Oh Lord,
I don't even know if they exist.
I think
where
there
we're
might
at.
still be one in Agtown
All right.
over where we were just at.
Mm.
With the Texas tie.
Oh,
over
yeah.
You should always try it once. Just don't eat the food. Just skip straight to the
Just
sopapillas.
just go walk through. Just do the deal. You know.
I can eat some sopapillas.
Yeah. No, they're
And-
fantastic.
And sopapillas and soft serve, they have it.
Okay.
Oh, and then the honey, if you want to just do honey.
I wouldn't do the food though.
Okay.
So anyway, I don't even remember what I was talking
That was a
about.
weird
No,
tangent.
it again, it's just a situation where it's on in a place where I can't get much else, so I just turn it on. That's it.
Okay.
This is not something I'm putting any effort into watching. I would never just sit down on my couch and just be like, you know what, bastard. No, it wouldn't happen.
Okay.
So
No go on that.
There you go.
Yeah, no go.
Flag is down.
Flags down. Okay. What's next? What's last? Godzilla the Planet Eater?
What I'll say is,
Wait. Is this tied to the movies you were watching?
yeah. So the first two. This is the end of this trilogy.
Okay.
And if you remember last time, what I said is 2 is where it started to go off the rails.
Mm-hmm.
3, they're not even on the damn track anymore.
Right. It's completely gone.
It's cool to watch. Let me say that first. Like, it's a beautiful animation to just sit there and bask in. The story for me, okay, so it does play heavily on some of the history that the movies did for Toho,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just out there. I mean, would I recommend to watch this? You'd have to be a really hardcore Godzilla fan, with a lot of extra leeway to the storyline. They bring religion and Ghidorah into this in a way that's, to me, it doesn't make any sense. And it's not that I don't understand what's going on. I just don't understand why they chose that path.
It doesn't fit.
Not to the storyline. Yes, it does. It fits that second one,
Mm-hmm.
which is where I started to lose the interest, and they just go full bore into it on this one. So,
So if I ask you what Planet Eater means, will that spoil something?
yes, it
Okay.
would, but I don't mind spoiling it.
Okay.
Spoiler
So
alert.
what we're
Let's
talking
go.
about there is Ghidorah, and it's not even Ghidorah. Ready? It's not even this plane of existence that Ghidorah exists on.
What is Ghidorah? I don't know.
Ghidorah is the ultimate. It's Godzilla's Joker.
Oh,
right?
okay.
That's his number one nemesis. And while it's a bit of an interesting spin on it, it's not enough to captivate my attention. It's just not.
So is this Godzilla the Planet Eater, the title, is this in place of what they used to do, which would be like Godzilla versus, the Big Moth? So instead of just saying versus something, you're just calling it the Planet Eater? And
No,
even
there-
though that's a different...
There's an intentional part for this with Ghidorah being the Planet Eater.
I know, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying, but
it's
wouldn't this be, back in the day, wouldn't it be Godzilla versus Ghidorah? Would they name it that? Something along those lines?
Honestly, I don't even think it would be a versus type thing.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't really. Again, just because of how the story is, this one is out there for me. Visually, it's a beautiful fight between the two because of how it's set up, which is basically because he's not of our plane of existence.
Mm-hmm.
He can still level damage against Godzilla, but Godzilla cannot do that in reverse.
Mm.
So, eventually it does get there, but not without some human help,
Yeah.
right? So,
Okay.
All right.
but at this point, I wouldn't recommend it. This is where I fell out the last time. It's where I fell out again.
But this is the end, no? There's no more?
This is the end. There's no more on
So-
this. Well, there's a post-credit scene, but it's
teaser?
not. It's not really a teaser or anything. It's more of an acknowledgement of what happened.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So, like, something happened and was it like, you're not sure what happened, and then like maybe this happened, and then at the end they were like, yeah, what you thought happened.
More or less the ramifications of what happened.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, y'all ready for round 2?
Yes.
Round 2.
Oh. Quote man.
Previously,
Oh.
replying to Mortal Kombat Stans is a waste of time.
Who's-
Genesis.
Oh, I said that?
But, ironically enough, what are we going to do right now? We're going to reply to the Mortal Kombat Stans. Let's waste some time.
Yeah, this is a waste of time. So first off, I got to say it is a waste of time to reply to any sort of stan, because they're just
They're not going to hear it.
They're too emotional. They're too emotionally invested in what's going on, and it doesn't matter. They're not going to hear. And again, I'm not even here to change anyone's minds about their game. You can like whatever you like. The point is not to change your mind.
But
So,
Genesis, you talked shit about this game.
yeah, because it was a shitty game.
Why would you do that to upset? Obviously, you have to do this because you wanted to get more views.
Right.
Oh,
You
that
didn't
was
re-
one
you-
of the.
that
yeah.
was
You
so.
didn't really hate it. You just wanted to get more views.
All right, you got me.
It had to be clickbait.
It had to be clickbait.
So okay, you got me. You got me. It was actually clickbait. It was clickbait. I don't actually hate Mortal Kombat. I actually think it's a good game.
Not really.
All right, that's
Bullshit.
No, all right, that's as long as yeah. So if any, so here's the deal. Here's just a couple of things just off the top of my head. A lot of people said some things in the comments on the lines of, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about," or 36 years of gaming experience don't mean anything, blah blah blah, things of that nature. But on the flip side, you watched a 17-minute video and claim to know everything about me and my skills and
Seriously.
my gaming history. So
Are you telling me? Hold on.
okay.
Are you telling me that I don't know you, even though I heard you for 17 straight minutes?
I would say that would be accurate.
Yep.
No, I don't think that's true, man.
No?
I think everybody knows everything about you now.
Yeah.
You actually put your bio out in those 17 minutes.
Yeah, my whole life story. But no, tell me if this sounds familiar to you.
All right.
This is what I will say. I am a Mortal Kombat fan. Tell me if this sounds familiar to you. You'll be able to recognize it real fast.
Go ahead.
I'm a Mortal Kombat fan. Mortal Kombat 1 was not a good game, right? And what I would like for them to do is stop putting out bad games before they kill the whole franchise. What I would like for them to do also is stop putting out bad Mortal Kombat movies.
I feel like this is an attack on my Detective Comics. I feel like it's a little bit of an attack on there.
It's not an attack. It's just my objective truth.
I have known you for 17 minutes, and I think you are incorrect, sir.
Yeah, you're incorrect.
Correct.
So, I'm actually a Mortal Kombat fan. Like the characters are cool. The general story is cool.
Not this one.
Generally speaking, and that's my point. I'm up here with it. I'm talking about high level Mortal Kombat as a thing, as a franchise. It's
that you've been playing forever.
That I've been playing since the early 90s.
Since we dropped quarters in machines.
Exactly. So from that standpoint, yes, I am a fan of Mortal Kombat. But that does not mean that I'm going to sit up here and pretend like Mortal Kombat 1 was a good game when it wasn't. Okay?
Right. You're not going to not critique it just because you are a fan.
Right. And I actually told some people that in the comments. I told a lot of people a whole lot of stuff in the comments. But I told people that in the comments. Like, I felt like I'm actually doing y'all a favor. Like, the stands in the comments felt like I was attacking them, when really I was attacking whoever made this crap game. And if one of my problems was going on just in general in life nowadays is when there's something that you don't like or you don't agree with and you just keep going with the status quo, you're just going to keep getting more bullshit. And you're just going to have to keep coming up with more excuses on why this is actually the game to play or the best fighting game or the whatever. And you're just coming up with a bunch of nonsense.
It's almost like instead of taking it personal, maybe that person should just go ahead and say, you know what? It's cool that you got your opinion. I don't agree with it. I happen to love this one. This might be my favorite one. If you don't like it, that's fine. I like everything about it for whatever XYZ reason you have. And I'm not mad at you for it, right? Like I'm not, that's your opinion for it. But to throw shade on someone else's opinion because it's not your opinion.
Or start attacking
or
somebody.
Start attacking in every which way they can. Well, you don't know how to play, obviously. Well, you haven't gone through the tutorials, probably. Well, you know what? You just don't know good content, probably. We disagree about movies all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I do? I respect that it's your opinion. I respect that I don't need to attack you personally for it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you call something trash in your eyes doesn't mean that it could be trash in my eyes.
So here's what's funny about you saying that, though. Most of the people in the comments,
Oh, yeah.
also on some level agree that this game has problems, but for some reason though they just didn't agree with the problems I was having. So it's like your problems are okay to point out and say this is a problem, and you're agreeing that the game has problems, but my issues were null and void. And on top of that, most people in the comments, the majority of the people in the comments, didn't necessarily even disagree with what I was saying. No one got into the comments and was like, no, the story was actually good because of these reasons. This is why I like the story. Nobody said that. All people did what? What did they give me?
Grief.
Solutions to my problems.
Right. There's a fix for that.
There's a fix for what you're talking about. So that doesn't matter. This is a great game. What?
That's not my Batman.
That's stupid. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, and somebody actually told him, I'm not taking advice from you because you're wearing a modern warfare hat.
There has been some modern welfare issues, but that's different.
No, but I think he went back to him and he basically was just like, I can't remember the comment, but he was acting like you can't know anything about fighting games if you play
first-person shooters.
Right. Like you can only know about one genre of games. It was just some ridiculous comments.
How dare you have an opinion on my favorite thing?
Yeah.
It was very presumptuous too. Like they just assumed so much about him.
Well, it goes back to what we've always talked about. You want to have a educated, thoughtful disagreement with someone, you're more than welcome to. But show respect, don't start attacking. The other thing that I would say is understand that your opinion matters to you.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have to matter to anybody else who may disagree with you. The only thing that you should want to do is to keep it non-attacking to the person whose opinion does not agree with yours. It's okay to do that, people. It really is, I promise.
Especially over a video game. We're not talking about major issues that affect your life.
No.
We're talking about a video game.
Yeah. We're talking about practice.
So do you want to clarify they were just horrified that you said you don't block?
Oh, Lord. Okay. So
you don't block?
I don't block when I play fighting games.
Oh, I thought you meant comments. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I don't block comments either. But again, if you want to come at me cussing, I said this on another show, I'm not going to see those.
Right.
And
It's YouTube.
even if I go to the place to see them, they still won't show them to me. I have to go to a whole nother place after that. So you're just wasting your time. But yeah, so there's a video out there. So some people kept wanting me to post some more footage of me playing online for some reason. Like they thought that I had time to just, go with their personal requests.
So weird porn.
Yeah. And I don't have time for that. So, but what I did remember and find is that there is footage of me playing Street Fighter 5 against Terrence, who was also on that show.
Yep.
And we went through the video. We sat down. It's a 35-minute video. It was probably 30 minutes worth of fights. There was 10 fights. What do you think I went in those 10 fights? We did 10 fights. What was my record?
Terrence?
Yeah.
I'm going to go 7-3.
7-3.
Pretty close.
I went 9-1 against Terrence, and we counted them up. All those fights, 30 minutes worth of fights, I blocked 5 times. 5 times and went 9-1. But people want to say, well, you don't block, so you must not know anything about fighting games because, blocking is not just the most basic default thing in a fighting game.
Well, obviously.
Blocking and attacking, like that's just the two basic things in a fighting game. So here's my strategy. Maybe y'all should have asked some questions and maybe you can implement my strategy in your strategy. Maybe one round, do my strategy, get a quick victory, go back to yours, do some blocking and do whatever the hell you do. But here's the deal. When I play people in fighting games, what's the first thing when the fight starts most people do?
Oh, you want to attack, not block.
No. That's not what people do.
Roll the joint?
Lord.
Drink a shot.
They back up.
That's not me.
They back up. Most people that I fight, either online or whatever, when I've been in tournaments, they back up. They back up. They back up. So if the person is constantly backing up, what the hell do I need to block for?
But even when they do attack you, you don't block.
Right. But my thing is, I specifically said that my offense is my defense. Yeah. So I am going on the attack and I'm going to attack you in different ways every single time that I come at you. So you don't know. I'm fighting and reacting in real time. That is how I fight. So whatever you do, I'm trying to counter. I'm trying to punish because that does more damage. And the other thing I don't do is build up my bar to do critical art finishes. A lot of people block and block and block and they build up their bar and they try to teabag people and do critical art finishes. I don't do that.
I will say
I'm not going for the ultimate special on you.
I will say that is how I am 95% of the time, with the exception of one game.
Okay.
What's that?
Demon Slayer's art finishes. I will build because I love the.
Well, if
they
it's
look cool.
called art finishes,
It's
then
art. Yeah,
it's probably it's like bread and butter.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to do. But on other games, which obviously then Genesis, going through and listening to everything that you're saying, obviously you only own Street Fighter 6 and Mortal Kombat 1, right? Those are the only two fighting games you've ever
Oh,
done,
Lord.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's it.
You have nothing else you've played.
Nothing. I haven't played anything else. So I don't know how I want to do this experiment. How many games do you think the average gamer owns? Not the people that we see every time we go to GameStop. You know, you see that guy. Oh yeah, I saw you last month. Not those people. Your average gamer. How many games do you think they own? Just in general.
Games or fighting games?
Games.
Just games in
Just
general.
games. Just like their library of games.
10.
I would go as
10?
high. I would go as high as 15, maybe even 20.
20 total.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
15. You said 10?
10. 10 to 20.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I own 110 fighting games.
Yeah, I was going to say, he has more than that just in fighting games.
Just fighting games.
We had to,
I'm going to say it again louder for the people in the back.
Hey, could you say that for the people in the back?
I own 110 fighting games, and that is not including anything that's digital only or the one up arcade upstairs.
Yep.
It's not including those. 110 fighting games. So when you want to sit up and say, oh, he's a casual, he doesn't know anything about fighting games, he doesn't know anything about games in general. It's like, people, I probably own more fighting games than you've probably ever played in your life.
Yep.
Games
Right.
in general. I own more fighting games than you've played.
And stuff, might I add, probably not local to the States.
Oh, yeah.
Probably have
I got
some of those
I got some
exclusives
Japanese
from
bangers.
overseas.
Yeah, I got some Japanese bangers up there.
There you go.
So I have some props, just a couple.
well, and I just want to add that
Oh,
you
add it up.
actually,
Add it
you
up.
actually play these games because we do know people who just buy game after game after game, play it until it gets hard, and then move on.
I feel like that's a personal attack, but go ahead.
No, I'm actually not talking about you, but I want to clarify that too because somebody could very well just say, well, so what? You went and bought games. Okay.
Yeah.
Like he plays them
Yep.
for real.
So this is I found this in the collection.
Nice.
That may or may not be here after I leave.
I found this in the collection.
Also may or may not be here after
In
I
this
leave.
game, actually, this game,
Keep them over there.
we actually did a giveaway for this. So people want to say I'm not a Mortal Kombat fan or thinking I'm just lying when I just said what I said earlier. No, we actually did a giveaway for this. You can go back and look. The receipts are out there. We gave away a whole Sega Genesis with Mortal Kombat 2.
Damn, would you just go
and,
Deion Sanders on everyone?
and a 32X with Primal Rage.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, he's got the receipts.
So we actually gave away two Sega fighting games. Okay. Found this in the collection.
Nice.
And I found this in the collection.
Yeah,
So I've been pimping since been pimping. Right. And this, there was a package. I don't know if you saw it on the chair. It was on sale. So I picked it up.
What is that? I can't. Oh, JoJo's.
It's a fighting game.
Goodness.
I don't think so.
It's a fighting game.
Obviously, you don't play enough fighting games.
So actually, let's say 111. How about that?
111. There you go.
But you haven't played that one.
Not yet.
Okay.
Like I literally just opened the.
Is it new or it's old? I can't tell.
Well,
what.
it's for the Series X.
Oh, okay.
So I think it probably came out in the last 2 years, but it was on sale. So I got it. Got it for giveaway purposes.
Oh, okay.
This one is for ours. This is us. But so I got two.
Giveaway.
As being just a basic gamer that you are,
Yeah.
obviously you only own one, maybe two systems.
Oh God.
Right? That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I literally
no.
went to your what we'll call the game room,
Yeah.
because it's more like a game museum what
Yeah.
you have. And I stopped counting the consoles after a certain point.
Yeah,
and
I
just
don't-
started
I don't know.
looking at
I don't
them.
know how many are up there. I know the one that I'm missing. I'll say that again. I know the one I'm missing, which is like Sega Jaguar. I mean, I'm sorry, the Atari Jaguar.
Mhm.
Like I'm missing that one. And I'm thinking Sega CD in my head. That's why I just said that. But we saw one, and we didn't get it. It was out of town. It was just and it's built funny and it was shaped funny. It's like I don't know if we can get this back without breaking it. So I don't own a Nintendo DSi.
I got you covered.
What do you think? 20? More than that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to picture.
I think
It's a lot.
I think when I realized you had a lot was when I came across the Virtual Boy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's when I realized I was like, I think he has a system or two.
Yeah.
You know?
So what else did you find out there? I know you read some of the comments.
They were very obsessed with the fact that you didn't do the tutorial. If you would have just done the tutorial, then you would have known.
So here's a two-piecer here. So the tutorial. So somebody specifically pointed out that the game footage that I had in the video was me not landing any combos, which wasn't true. A lot of people like to say what I said in the videos weren't true, but no, that was actually not true. There was plenty of combos in the video. But that was literally the first time I picked up the controller and played this game. So how about y'all have the guts to put out a video when you just picked up the game? Just go pick up a brand new game and hit record and just go publish that video out there. Don't go to tutorials, just go play the game. So what I was actually doing in those videos, if you watch it, I was getting my spacing. Again, I'm gonna try exercise. Let's just see.
Go.
If we were just to play a fighting game that you hadn't played in a long time or hadn't played at all, what's the first thing you would probably say when it's time to fight? When the screen comes up and it say round 1 fight, what's the first thing that you're going to say?
Shit.
Give me a second.
Hold on for a second.
Me a second.
You want to feel the buttons out,
Give me
feel the moves, right?
Give me a second. What does this do? What this is the punch, this is the kick, this is the block. All right, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
That sound reasonable? That's happened probably before to you? Or
I don't think that's ever happened today.
Oh, you just know.
Today it's never happened.
It hadn't happened today.
Hadn't
but
happened today.
So that's what they saw me doing in that video.
You were doing your own tutorial.
I was doing my own tutorial in real time while I was playing the story mode. Okay.
Because some of us don't want to watch the tutorial game through.
Well,
and
some of us don't want to do a tutorial or need to do a tutorial. So let me see what this button does. Let me see what this button does in combination with this button. Let me see what happens if I press both of these at the same time. What's the grab button? How far back do I need to be to do a grab? How far back do I need to be to do an uppercut? How do I do a leg sweep? That's what I was doing in real time while you were watching the video you were watching.
What I love most with certain people is they assume, much like certain teachers in life, and I actually do mean educators.
Oh.
Is that every student learns the
same way. Yeah.
As the next person. Not everyone does. Some people, I guarantee you, who are in these tournaments, you know what they're not doing? Going through the tutorials.
Going through
they're
the
not doing that.
tutorials. No.
They took their own time, figure it out. Now they got it because they learn by working through the issue or the problem. So when these people say tutorial, fantastic. You know what the most boring part of that game is for me? The tutorials.
The tutorials.
I mean, to me, that just makes you sound like such a basic casual gamer yourself. You have to do the tutorial and what was the other thing that they said? Oh, and they can only block. Like they have to block.
Yeah.
That makes it sound like you don't really know what you're doing.
That sounds like you
beyond
don't
the most
know
basic.
That's the pumpkin spice of gamers right there.
And here's the deal. I love fighting against tutorial fighters.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because generally speaking, they don't know how to fight and react. They know how to do moves.
You know how to follow directions that you saw in the tutorial.
You know how to do moves, and I fought. And I remember fighting a homeboy. He's figured out how to shoot some fireball in a game that didn't have a lot of projectiles, and he just knew he was gonna whip my ass. It didn't work because once I got up on him, put that pressure on him, yellow fireball didn't do anything.
I believe what I had said last time was you could kill that with a button mashing or two.
Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of? In the, corporate world, we have people who do really good in college, like really good, right?
Preach it.
They come in with their master's degree and they cannot do anything because they can't think outside of what they read in a book and taking a test.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They cannot think past this. Yep. And that's what it sounds like.
Well, and it goes to the point of, you know how someone in the corporate world does best by going through the motions of what they're about to take over.
Real world experience.
Right.
You
And
got it.
common sense and thinking,
Don't use that word.
I know.
There's that doesn't exist anymore.
I know.
Yeah.
Because I'll be the first to tell you, I did not have a good GPA in college, but
Yeah.
I've done really well in my job.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you don't have, if you can only do things by taking a tutorial, then that says a lot about you.
Yeah. But
I'm not trying to be mean, but these people asked for it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they did. I mean, like I said, some people were cool about it. Some people had real honest opinions about the show. And what I'll say about that, I'll just throw this out there.
Sure. Yeah.
Not an excuse. If the show didn't have the same energy
An organization.
that one of our normal shows would have. One, because we haven't potted in 2 years.
Right.
That was like our 5th show back. Terrence hadn't potted in 3 years.
Yep.
That was his first show back and our first show back with him. 2, I knew the game was trash. I didn't want to play in the beginning. Didn't want to play it too. I just said, who knew that would be the game that would help our channel grow? Like, who knew?
Yep.
I was just like, this is a trash game. Like, I don't want to review a trash game. Like, I mean, I'm not saying I only review good games. I'd rather review a game I know nothing about versus a game I already know going in. This is not going to be a good experience.
Yeah.
I'd rather, I'd rather review something like that.
I think that's what everyone has to realize is, especially with very few movie reviews, for instance, that we do. Am I going to be like, man, this just sucks? No, I want to go into a movie where I know that I'm going to enjoy it. The other people, with the opinions for or against that, it's irrelevant. That's your opinion. But I do want to have that feeling going into most movies. I want to go in liking them. Same thing with games is that you want to go in liking what
You
you're
would hope
about
so if
to
you just
spend.
spent that much money.
That's right. When
Right.
you're dropping $70.
Well, you want to at least have the expectation that you will enjoy what you just spent money on.
So I say it with this. So y'all both know, I have Mortal Kombat 1. My son, was looking forward to it. He's a big Mortal Kombat fan. He loves it. He liked it. He likes fighting. So we did this 4 weeks ago when that thing came out, and we were talking about it.
Yeah.
Ask me if we've picked that game up again.
Nope.
Have you picked the game up?
Not
again?
at all.
I already know.
Not just me.
Not just but
My son,
him
who
as well.
he paid for that
Right.
with his hard-earned money,
Yeah.
has not picked that up again.
And the game is the brand is dying,
And that's what you don't want.
and that's what I don't want.
Yeah.
And
I don't want Mortal Kombat to die.
It sounds like a great segue. But I know
Well,
we're not done. I know we're not done though.
She might have some more. I don't know. She might have some more notes. I don't know.
No, I mean, I think you covered everything because the majority
I mean,
of
we could just keep going forever because there
We
was so
could.
many comments.
it was so
And
many
again,
comments.
I want to say we are thankful for the comments.
Yeah, for sure.
Like for real. Like no, for real.
Well, I think it's important that even when people attack personal, understand no one here is going to take that personal, and no one here is going to give a damn.
No.
That it makes for great content that we can come back to later. 100%.
Right.
Please keep throwing those comments out there because we can go all day.
Yeah.
You give us more reasons to pod, but they're not going to take that to heart just
No.
because you hate the opinion of someone you've never met.
Right.
Yeah, I doubt we'll address this ever again. But I think as it was the first time, it was like, oh, hold on. I'm not sure you understand who we are and our channel, especially you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and it spawned some good ideas. Now that I went and looked through my fighting game collection, I might do my top 10 fighting game video or something like that or whatever. And then we can continue to have more conversation. But like I said, Mortal Kombat, it's just not great. I wish they would do better. I want them to do better.
And definitely get some better writers, please. Have something for the story.
Something. Or just leave the story alone.
Hell,
Just dumb it. Just bring it all
fix
the
the
way back.
mechanics.
do you mean to actually have just a actual fighting game again?
Yeah.
Wow, what a concept.
Yeah.
I don't think those ever existed before, man.
Oh.
Wait.
Huh?
Wait, did that exist before?
we got some Street Fighter 2?
Wait. Okay, I see what you're saying. All right.
I think they did.
Yeah. The sarcasm expressed in this show is brought to you by everyone who doesn't give a damn what you think.
Yeah. So again, what this ended up leading to was our channel getting some growth, and I just want to plug it again. we have a giveaway going on right now. I wanted to give away Tekken 8 as like a slap in the face, like here's an actual good game. Because I'm assuming it's going to be good. But that game doesn't come out until like the end of January. So I'm just like, that's too long, especially with a topic that was done in October. It's not going to work. Right. And then it was like, well, Call of Duty will be out. Well, that game's rated M for mature. So I can't just give that to anyone because it was very clear that was some 10-year-olds in the comments.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out. So I want y'all to win something, but if you're 10, you can't have. I don't even want to mess with that. So instead, we're giving away the $100 PlayStation Network card.
You can get what you want,
and if I can remember, I will put the card up here somewhere. It's on our page. You'll see it. It's the big thing that says.
But
giveaway.
you know what? If you're a real gamer, you probably know what it already looks like.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah. Anyway. Again, we can keep going on and on this, but y'all ready for round 3?
Yes.
Let's go round 3.
Round 3.
Oh my God. The Marvels.
Wow, did this get a lot of shit before it even came out?
Yeah, it did. It did.
Oh, did it? I didn't even know.
Tons of shit. Oh my God. I was floored.
So I'm going to start this off the same way I started off the last video. Did you happen to see it? Did you happen to see our
I hope you didn't.
non-spoiler review?
I did not, but because I got notified right before I walked in.
Okay, good. I'm actually glad he didn't see it.
Okay, so first off, we normally do the first 10 minutes of this round spoiler free. We already did a spoiler free version of this show on our new show called ANX Quick Cast. It's designed and made just for this thing. We watched it, we came home, we potted, we put it out. Spoiler free, 10 minutes. Go check it out.
Some ANX quickies.
ANX quickies, right? So again, if I can remember, I will put the card up here, but just go find it on the page. So that is your warning that
Spoiler alert.
spoilers all through this round. Okay. The next thing, say this. I'm going to try not to cuss too much. If you're one of those people who did not like Captain Marvel just because the main character was a woman, just because our homegirl was black and also a woman, right? If you're one of those people who disliked this movie before you ever saw it just because you had more female actors, women actors in the lead roles across the board, the 3 main characters, the mom, the bad guy, right? Spoilers. Then turn this shit off right now, because that's not something I tolerate on our platform, on our channel, whatever. You can kick rocks.
Yep.
If it's a bad movie, it's a bad movie. Say it's a bad movie and list reasons. Your sexism, your misogyny, your racism does not make movies bad just because of that. You're stupid.
Your bigoted opinion on stuff just because you don't agree with it.
Yep.
You cannot agree with liking the movie, like you just said. 100% agree. You can sit there and watch it. Me and you disagree all the time on the movies. I don't think we've agreed on like 2 out of however many
100.
we've reviewed. Yeah. So like, I get it. I'm not saying that you're right or wrong. I just don't want to see your freaking opinion on something you haven't even viewed and you have no intention to view because you think you know how this movie's going to be.
Right.
Right. So now that we got that out of the way,
That's his disclaimer.
did you like the movie?
Oh man, I wanted you to go first on this.
I already went though. People
I'll
already
go.
know, people already
Oh.
know.
And
People already know how I feel because we did this already.
I didn't really like it.
Hey.
is that a 2 for 2? What? Is that a full couple support?
No. I liked the movie. It was not a great movie. It wasn't like the best movie I've ever seen. It wasn't as good as the first movie. Now, I know that's a hot take because so many people hated the first movie, but as a movie, it was a good movie.
I enjoyed this movie more than I thought I would. I'll say that.
And I enjoyed it less than I thought I would.
Me too. I enjoyed it less than
that's
I
what
thought.
I will say.
I went in with low expectations, not because
Because it was a woman?
not because it was a woman, but because of all the
Because of
behind
ladies?
the scenes stuff with the director, with Disney, and everything that was going into this. First off, thank you for getting this movie down to 145 total.
Yeah.
Did not need to be a 2.5 hour movie at all.
It didn't need to be. However, I think if it was a little bit longer, some of the scenes that were amiss for me would have landed a little better.
You
It
would hope.
It had, yeah, but
would hope.
generally speaking, it had a little bit of that Blue Beetle stuff I was talking about, where Dad died and y'all are laughing 5 seconds later. It had a whole lot of that going on in this movie, and I was just like, I didn't like it in Blue Beetle. I don't like it here. I'm consistent across the board.
It was, which is appreciated, and because I'm consistent across the board, I thought it was fun. I did not go into this movie. Man, there's some other stuff I want to say, but I can't because it'll tell on myself. But I went into this movie not having much expectation for it, and maybe that's part of Blue Beetle for me as well, because I went into the movie not having much expectation for it. Now, I'm not as in love with this movie as I was with Blue Beetle for different reasons.
Right.
But it wasn't bad, and it kept my attention, and I did not once think, man, I need to look at the clock. How long is this movie? I sat down, I enjoyed it. I laughed when it was appropriate. I can tell you what I think is the weakest part of this movie, the 2 weakest parts of this movie.
Oh, because I got 2 main weak points too. So I wonder if it's the same.
Probably not.
Probably not. Number 1. Thank you, Samuel L. Jackson, for picking up the phone and appearing.
Oh, heck yeah. I love Samuel L. Jackson.
But he was horrendous. To me, he was the worst actor in this movie.
Oh, no.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, we're not in alignment there.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's who I'm going to pick on this one.
Okay.
He phoned it in, and I get it. Who knows what upteenth one this is for you?
Yeah.
That's fine. Like, whatever. I get, you've earned the right to phone one in. You have.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 is, I think people tend to think antagonist means a villain,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not always the case.
Well,
It's
you saw me.
Yeah.
You saw me earlier.
Right.
You saw me.
Yeah, I saw. So I do have a problem thinking with certain comments out there that are like, well, this was a horrible villain. Well, it was an antagonist. She wasn't a villain.
Right. She was trying to save
she
her
was trying to do what was right in her eyes.
planet. Yeah.
Yeah, and not Thanos way. The villain part, if you want to take from that, is just the fact that she wanted to take from the person who took from her.
Yeah.
But even that made sense. Like, I get it. You want to take it from her because that's what she took from you.
But I will argue that she was the villain though. Like, I will still say, because you can't displace millions and billions of people because one person did something to you.
True.
Like, you can't and then turn into killing possibly.
Again, true.
Because so that.
But it was like a sympathetic villain almost.
Yeah.
Because you understood, like, she was trying.
That was a clear reason why versus I'm just evil and want to kill people.
Exactly.
No,
exactly.
apparently not though.
Right.
Go and look at some of the stuff online. There was not a clear reason. They did not understand why she wanted to do things. Like,
what?
Did you watch the movie? Were you
listening?
Were you drinking during the movie? I was drinking during the movie, but I still caught everything.
It was quick.
It was.
Yeah, it was very quick.
It was.
I mean, it wasn't like blink you miss it, but I mean, it was a quick little. Everything in this movie was
very quick.
Was a quick setup resolution kind of thing. So the 2 things that I hated about this movie, that I couldn't say before, but now I'm gonna say it. 100-year anniversary for Disney, and they've created a new Disney princess.
That whole scene
Live
with the singing.
MCU. I was singing and dancing.
Oh my gosh.
Disney style. So again, what I said on the other show, all these people that are saying, oh, Disney is Disney-fying MCU with their Disney, right? Since they bought it. No. They did it. Yeah. They finally went ahead and did it.
I could not believe it. I was like, are you kidding me?
And then to come down to the prince can speak without singing.
He's
bilingual.
No, that was funny. We said he's bilingual.
It was funny, but it also made the whole thing unnecessary.
The only thing that made me appreciate that scene was Kamala Khan's reaction to it and her full into it. I will tell you right now, that little girl, to me, is what kept this movie flowing and together.
100%.
So this is why I like her character so much. Mortal Kombat. I didn't use this word, but I should have. Fanboys. Yep. The fanboys, the stands, same thing. They win the comments, blah, 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 right? She is a fangirl. And you, first off, you just don't see fangirls very often, especially not for like nerdy things. Women freak out about other stuff, right? Not nerdy things. So it's cool to see a fangirl in full effect.
And let me stress, and this is not planned. I know people are going to sit there and say, wow, you pulled this information for the show because you're doing it. This is off the cuff. Before she gets the role of Captain Marvel, she's going as Halloween. She's going as Captain Marvel. That was her costume. This was 2 years before she even got cast.
Oh, really?
It's cute. She tries out for it. She lands the part. She gets it, and she gets to be her own hero. Then she turns around, pitches an idea to Marvel, proper Marvel Publishing.
Yeah.
And says, I have an idea for a story, and they have now given her the reins for the next couple of arcs of Captain Marvel. She's writing her own adventures.
That's awesome.
Nice.
So she has my attention.
Yeah.
And she is playing this part like it's everything to her, because it is everything to her right now.
Her
at this age.
and the character.
Her and the character.
And I will say, so after we saw the movie, as per usual, we do not talk about it. We save it for the show. And it was funny because when we got on here yesterday and we did the spoiler free, most of the points that we made were the same. And one of the points that we both said is that basically Kamala Khan and her family and their humor like carried this movie.
110%.
Yeah. Like they were one of the best parts of this movie.
Yeah. So the second thing that I hated about this movie, and I will explain it like I did in the other show. There was a big part of this movie that would have probably fit very well into like a Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Oh, you already know, don't you?
It would have fit perfect there, and it wouldn't have been bad. Again, there's a lot of stupid shit that went on in Guardians as a franchise, but it fit.
But it fits.
It had a place.
Yeah,
it made sense. The stupid shit that happened closer to the end of this movie.
You can just say it. The cat scene. Swallowing and throwing up everybody.
And not just one scene. It went on. It just kept going on and on and on.
It was a Family Guy joke that it started funny, went okay. It's supposed to come back to being funny, but it didn't quite hit it. Now, did it have me chuckling a couple times with it? Sure, because there were certain scenes where it was like, that's kind of funny.
The first time, but then it was like, what is happening here?
And it just kept going on and on. And it probably would have been better if they just showed a few, hit it with a punchline and just cut it.
Yeah.
Like you knew. No, but they showed the whole thing. But they showed them up until the last cat and then closed the door. And then fly off, and then they land. They showed,
and then they come out.
And then they come again.
They showed A through Z, and I was like, "What the? What am I watching?"
I loved what you said about Guardians, because the entire time I'm watching this, I'm like, I think why I like it is because they're trying to match the Guardians, not Captain Marvel. Although, kudos to them for bringing it back around full circle for the explanation behind the villain and seeing what happened after Captain Marvel, but before Avengers Infinity War, right? But very much, it's like they were going out of their way to make it feel like the Guardians. I don't know if that's, the choice of the director.
So I'm wondering if this next point that I have to make, as far as the worst actor in the movie, I wonder if it has something to do with this.
Okay.
This is another thing we agreed on.
The worst actor in the movie was Brie Larson.
Yeah.
Terrible.
But I feel like it was purposely and deliberately done, because some of those scenes were just, I'm going to zoom in on you on a solo shot and you and seemingly say this line as horribly as you can. Because it wasn't just normal speech. Some of the normal talk was fine. Whatever.
I didn't mean to.
Right.
It was just.
But when there was a big moment happening, that's when the acting was at its worst. That's what makes me think this was deliberately done. Because here's the deal: what you claim online she did in the first movie, all the haters, right, is what actually happened in this movie. Yeah. And so that's why I feel like they did it on purpose.
Because I love Brie Larson, and I thought she did good in Captain Marvel.
Yeah, the first one, she was fine in Captain Marvel. All the stuff on the internet is just nonsense.
So mutual person of ours doesn't like Brie Larson at all. Probably will pick on it for this reason, but again, for me, I don't I cannot hand off the title for bad acting without seeing Nick Fury's Samuel Jackson's performance. Just
now,
it lost me. It lost me for
so,
sure.
but this is what ended up happening. This was the movie where they completely change. I don't know about Nick Fury because he should have a big part in some stuff that's coming up.
I don't think. I mean, he's got to be aging out, man.
Secret Wars, though.
I still don't think it's going to be him leading that.
I mean, but he's going to be around. Secret Wars.
I don't know.
Right?
I don't know. He looked old in this movie for the first time. He looked it.
But I don't think they're going to use this to one, end the character, and two, change his character drastically. No. But I think this is the movie to drastically change Captain Marvel's character.
Yeah.
And what I said before was her character in this movie is drastically different from the first one. It's not a Thor evolution. It's not that drastic of how you saw when you first saw Thor versus what you saw in Love and Thunder. Yeah. Like, it's not that drastic, but it's drastic for it only being a short period of time in the way her character acts and behaves and all that. But I think it was done intentionally.
I agree with that. I think if you're going to make a sequel to Captain Marvel, then you had to keep it with the core characters. Adding Kamala Khan's Captain Marvel, fantastic, but you really do take it away then from Carol Danvers' Captain Marvel. Yeah. Again, she stole this entire movie, and she just looked like she was having fun the entire time. She just looked like she belonged.
And now I'm wondering if that was purposeful because of things that are coming up.
Possibly.
To build. Well, but I don't know.
But it is. Look at how it ends. It doesn't end with Carol.
No, yeah, she feels like the main character.
Yeah,
Kamala Khan feels like the main character here.
And I know that the scene will get a lot of grief from people who are going like, they're just trying to copy off Nick Fury. No, that's not what they did. They didn't copy the end of Iron Man to come up with this last scene. They absolutely played into the ridiculousness of the scene as a whole. Mm-hmm. Who are you? Why are you doing this? Why are you stalking me? What's going on? I mean, even going down to her saying, please? Like, it was making fun of it without disrespecting what had come before. And so that scene to me felt forced, but it was funny to me, so I let it go. But that's not how you should end this movie that's based on Carol Danvers.
So the placement of that particular scene was weird for me. Like, I feel like that should have been a mid, and then the post, which there was no post,
or the true post, not just hearing Flurkins in the Flurkin background.
Yeah, so I feel like that probably should have been the mid, and then we're going to talk about it a little bit later.
The actual mid.
The actual mid probably should have been the post. So the placement of it was weird to me. So I'm not going to say that she stole the show. If for anything, as the thing that stole the show for me was the choreographed fight scenes. 10.
Yeah.
10. Like, every single one of them were on point.
Yeah.
Smart as hell.
Well done with the power switching.
Oh my, what?
What? You're going through everything and it's just like, okay, like it feels a little chaotic at first.
Yeah.
You know, as they get to, and that's another point. I don't know if that's on purpose. Maybe it is because of what's going on. Mm-hmm. But I enjoyed the hell out of that house scene, man.
The house
that was fun.
All of the fight scenes were just on point for me. Like,
yeah,
just I can't remember. Like I said, it's not Avengers Endgame end scene.
No,
it's not epic. They are not epic fight scenes. They are just well done, super high quality, choreographed. Everything was just dope. It feels like they didn't take any shortcuts. And again, smart is the word that just keeps coming to my head. Like, just the way they put it together, the things that had to go into, well, what if this happens and you do this, but I'm throwing a punch, but now we switch and I'm in the middle of a punch, and does it hit the person? Do I fall on my face? It was dope.
It also did something I didn't expect in the third act. It was epic in thought, but small in design, and I appreciated that for the first time. You had that Act 3 fight 4 people. That was it. 4 people, and they weren't fighting magnificently or everything. It was just a no holds bar beat down. That was it. I was like, Thank you for bringing that smaller.
I was a little confused on something. So when at the very end, after Monica ended up on the other side,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden here comes the spaceship, whatever you want to call it, and it's just Kamala coming out.
They talk about that.
How'd she get there?
No, so what they say is like when she's talking to Fury at the end, and she like, where's Monica?
Right.
And she just shakes her head like she didn't make it. And then when he asks her, well, where's...
Well, you're asking how did she get back to Earth?
How does she know how to fly a plane?
She doesn't. The assumption is that the autopilot
Yeah,
set by
because
Carol.
they had
Oh, okay.
autopilot because they had turned the autopilot off on
Mhm.
that ship earlier.
Yep.
So
Oh,
at
okay,
least
I missed that.
they mentioned that it has it. You
Yeah.
know, so she probably used the autopilot.
Okay. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. She tried to get it.
She got it. She was trying for it.
She was trying to like, hey, this don't make
Wait
sense.
a minute.
Let me tell you something.
So so the fight scenes is what really stole the show for me. If something that stole the show, the character that stood out the most was Kamala Khan.
Yeah.
She stood out the most. This is what I would say was weird. That I noticed it the most with her. You get into a fight, you on the ship, you look all kind of disheveled, your hair is nappy, blah blah blah, and then the next scene, full makeup. It's just something I noticed. It was kind of strange to me. I noticed it. I'm
Like
just saying.
after a fight?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like you.
Because I noticed when they went to the princess place, they all came out with like full on makeup.
Yeah.
Like all done up.
This was like we're on the ship. That we didn't go visit any place. We didn't go home.
Okay.
Except for the very first time. The very first time they are all disheveled and they're trying to like, there's even a point to where like, hey, this is all I had. Is it okay that I took this from you?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
they make it a point to say that, but it doesn't happen again. It's not a huge thing that I would get hooked on, but I understand where you're coming from. It's like, it's kind of out of place. It's
out of place. Yeah. That's
it's
all.
just-
Yeah. That's what came to mind. Like this is out of place. So when you're watching a movie, you've seen as many movies as I've seen, it's just like, that looks out of place.
unless it was after the 92,
98.
98.
98.
Okay.
I can't
Or
tell.
before
I-
98. Sorry, before
I
98.
can't tell if anything is out of place before 98 because the graphics are so bad.
A little fuzzy.
VHS tapes. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
Jesus. Anyway, what else? What else before we get to the,
the
this-
heart of it.
Yeah, this is what I will say about this movie. Fight scenes make it worth the price of admission. Mid-credit scenes make it worth the price of admission. Right?
Music was good. We talked about.
music was
Music
dope.
was good.
Music was dope. And I'm gonna say this, and I know it might ruffle some feathers because Secret Invasion did not have good reviews. Right? I saw it late. I didn't know what people. I don't know what their gripes are. I'm not gonna pretend to know what their gripes were, but people didn't like it.
I liked it.
What am I missing? Wait,
One of the series on Disney.
Disney
with,
Plus?
with Nick Fury, with
Yeah.
Samuel
Nick Fury,
Jackson.
yeah.
Yeah.
With Homeless Fury. So I don't know. But this is what I will say. If you take the good parts of that show,
Mm-hmm.
you take the good parts from Miss Marvel, you take some of WandaVision that had to do with Monica,
Mm-hmm.
you take Captain Marvel, the
Mhm.
movie, you put it all together, and that's what you have.
Yeah.
So if you enjoyed any of those things that I just listed,
You should like it.
it's
you
you
should
should
like
you
it.
should enjoy it, generally speaking.
Okay. So let me say this before anything else. For me, this is rewatchable. In fact, it's going to have to be because I got to take my kids. But this also represents the problem that I never wanted Marvel to get into, that we knew as soon as they started doing the Disney Plus shows it would. This story is complete to a point. If you're not watching the other shows, especially Miss Marvel,
Mm-hmm.
this is not a whole story. And again, I should not have to be in a place where I have to watch other shows to get the full picture of this. And that was one thing that I was always saying, God, I hope Kevin Feige never does this. And I think we're here.
But I don't think you had to watch them
You-
to
you
watch this movie.
Don't have to watch them, but you
I don't-
know as well as I do, you get a ton more background if you
Right.
do.
But I mean, but that's it's
True
like
for every movie, probably.
I mean, it's true for a lot of different things. right? If you go to a restaurant and you order something, but it's called, let's say Black Eyed Peas. That's the first thing that came to mind. You go to Black Eyed Peas and you order the chicken fried steak and you get mashed potatoes and you don't get the Black Eyed Peas, then you're not getting the full experience. And that's on you.
No, but
because
that's like
it's there.
But he's talking more about like things that make sense.
You're talking about a restaurant. If that's going to be the case, then you have to order everything on the menu every time you go to a restaurant to get the full experience.
No, it's okay. You go to a burger place and get fish. Like, you're not getting the whole experience, and that's your fault.
That's not,
and that's your fault.
That's
like you can go into this movie and you had the opportunity to watch all the other things that connect to it, and you chose not to. So it's and again, you don't have to for this movie to make sense. It makes perfect sense on its own.
I will say I was happy that they did do their explanations in the beginning in a sensible way, and then to cover more of the background, then they go to the Kree helmets on that. So it's not that they didn't give you enough exposition to understand where you were at the start of this movie and what happened before. But again, this is eerily reminiscent of me being in the 90s and I'm wanting to read Secret Wars, the comic book, and knowing I get a much fuller story if I also pick up the X-Men issue that corresponds with that as one of the side stories. And then I have to pick up the Spider-Man issue to figure out what's going on with that black suit. And then I have to pick up the Fantastic Four series. Like, I'm not saying that you have to, and in those stories you don't have to.
But I guess that's my only problem with what you're saying, because you literally said I had to.
What I said is, in order to get the complete picture, you would have to have watched those. I'm not saying this isn't a complete movie. That's not what I said. I'm just saying the complete overall picture of where they're wanting to go. Tell me it doesn't play better having seen Miss Marvel and then watching this. It
does, but I just feel like all of these movies are like that. Because like what's the one that we watched where all three Spider-Man showed up? Was that Doctor Strange in the multi-universe or whatever it's called?
No, you're talking about No Way Home.
No Way Home.
Spider-Man No Way Home.
All three Spider-Man showed up. So there were things in that movie that I didn't quite get because I never saw the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. But I think like got most of the movie, but things would have made more sense because some of his enemies showed up in that movie and I didn't even know. Like, what's the dude that flies? I can't remember his name.
Fly Man.
No, the Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Like, he showed up and I was kind of confused, but I guess he's in the original.
Which is, I think, what you had said originally when reviewing that. That's why you hate it, because it did not hate it, but one of the problems you had with it was the fact that it did rely on that. It did rely on you having that knowledge. It wasn't hey, wouldn't it be cool if you just knew this automatically?
No, it's not that it relied on you having the knowledge. It relied on the fact that they just kept bringing back pieces of past yesteryear. That's all. It's not that you had to have the knowledge. It was just like that was the big piece. Yeah. Like, instead of just making some better substance, content, Mortal Kombat, you just like, oh, things are getting dull, let's bring in Jamie Foxx.
Yeah. I definitely think that it was better. Things made more sense. You understood the family dynamic for the cons if you had seen Miss Marvel, right?
Now,
Miss Marvel, yeah.
Having said all of that, if I had taken someone with me to go see this movie, they probably still would have liked it for what it was, not having any of that outside knowledge.
Yeah,
probably.
Like I said, because you don't have to watch that stuff to watch this movie. Like that.
It helps though. It's like a tutorial.
Okay, wait a minute. Whoa,
tutorial man.
Shots fired.
I'm
not even saying that. I don't want to. I don't want to sit there and put out a false narrative of you have to watch this.
Yeah, you don't understand.
Yeah. You don't have to do that. I'm just saying though, to get that complete picture, it's very much reminiscent of those linked major arcs in comics where it's helpful when you read the other to kind of understand the entire story.
Yeah.
Not that sometimes I don't have problems with it. Not that I do have problems with it. I'm just saying this really did feel like the first movie from them where it would have been beneficial to have watched some of that stuff.
Yeah,
not a necessity, but definitely beneficial to have watched it.
I definitely think you could watch this without seeing the first Captain Marvel. I don't think you had to, because they kind of went over what happened at the end.
But I think they did that for all 4 shows basically.
And you definitely like even the Monica Ram. You know, they went
They
over,
went over
that history.
They showed you the clips.
Right.
Like, basically, in the movie, they showed you some of the main clips from those shows.
Absolutely.
So you didn't even have to stay. They showed it to you.
Miss Marvel was the only one though they didn't really show like flashbacks.
They didn't, not to the show, but definitely I did appreciate them opening it like Miss Marvel with the animation.
Yeah.
I wish they
thought
would
that
have
was
did
a
a
nice.
little more. I wish they
Yeah.
would have done it like on the ship or something when they finally were a team, quote unquote, and they were going to do a plan. I wish she would have, because that's what she did in the show.
Her narration of that would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what they did in the show. I'm pulling out the storyboard. It's time to start drawing.
There is so much that they said that was funny, but it just cracked me up when they were like, "Where'd you get this bracelet? My grandma sent it to me in the mail." It's just like,
which is such a throwaway line to a much bigger thing
yes.
that was there, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, no, it pays if you are a Marvel fan to go ahead and start watching those type of shows, because that little bitty line that you get a chuckle out of, because they are trying to play it for laughs while giving you some information.
yeah,
You just don't realize how big of a thing that was.
But I think the other thing that's missing when we start talking about having to watch stuff and not watch it, I think there's still an audience. I'm sure there's an audience out there that never saw Miss Marvel.
Okay.
So what you just said,
Ray's like,
what you just said would set up. So it makes sense for them to do that. Set up like, what is she talking about? Okay, now I'm gonna go watch it.
Maybe, maybe not. And this is why I'm going to say this, because you said the word audience. The audience in the time that you guys went to go watch this in, it's hardly ever an audience, no matter what kind of movie, even in the summer, because you're going in the morning usually. Am I right on that?
Lately.
No, we usually go at night. Opening night.
Did you guys go opening night?
No.
What time did y'all go?
10:30
in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay. I went 7:00 prime time in a theater that's not empty. Okay. And there, out of 150 seats, there were 15 seats that were taken, including myself.
"Oh, really?"
I went to go look at other times because I was like, maybe it's just this theater. Maybe it's just this time. Maybe there's other stuff going on. So I started going around theaters elsewhere in various different areas to see what their seating looked like, how many tickets they sold. There were 8:00 showings that had less than 10 people.
Oh, wow.
In big theaters, and theaters that I know are always packed. What is that a representation of? Is that a representation of all the bashing that went on first?
Of course.
Is it? Well, no. Is it a representation of not being able to market the movie because of the strikes?
No.
Because remember, they couldn't talk about any of this movie until just this week.
No, because they've been playing the commercials in big spots for months and months, like a year now.
But not everyone is going to be a bigoted hater. Is this a sign of things to come for Marvel movies? Is this the audience finally going, hey, you put out some not so hot stuff. We're going to wait on this one and see what comes back. And if we do that,
I know you wish it would be that, but no.
I don't think so.
No. I mean, when you get a movie that's bashed, forget this movie. Forget the bashing that happened with this movie before it came out. When you get the bashing from the first movie,
but it didn't matter.
No, nobody's going to see the second movie.
Did not matter because the first movie made money.
No. It made money. I'm not saying it didn't make money.
I'm listening to you. I'm looking it up too, though.
You're not listening to me. What I'm saying is the movie came out and then people got the bashing.
Okay.
Right? I'm not saying beforehand. I'm saying after the movie came out, people got the bashing and kept bashing her and bashing over and over. So what I'm saying is when they make a second movie based off of that movie that people have been bashing for the last 3 years, nobody's going to go watch it.
Bullshit. The first movie cannot make the numbers it made without having repeat business. I'm sorry. It made that much money that it had repeat business over and over again. You can sit there and say, if it had only stuck to a couple of million above what it had made when it first came out, and those were the opening weekend representations for numbers, I'd understand that comment. But when you made as much money as it did the first movie, You can't hold it on that.
No. You're not listening to what I'm saying. So
I did listen to what you're saying.
No, you didn't. So let me break it down. Let me break it down. Let me get to the Mortal Kombat level.
Okay, use some logic.
I know a particular person who watched the first movie.
Okay.
And has since then listened to all the bashing. And then had no intentions of watching this movie.
Can I ask you a question? Is it the same person I'm thinking about right now?
Probably not.
Okay.
So I'm just saying that is a real life thing that I've encountered, and it's just like I see that, and I see that happening over and over. See, the thing you have to remember though is when these movies make the money that they make, there are so many quote unquote, their words not mine, casuals that watch these movies. Right? They're not real fans. They're not comic book fans. They're not even really a MCU fan or whatever. They just like kind of coattails, right? Everybody else is talking about this, so I'm gonna go watch it. I get people asking me stuff all the time. Oh, I heard that was trash. I'm not gonna go watch it.
Oh, really? About Captain Marvel?
About any of these movies. Even though they've already watched maybe the first one or something in the series or something similar or something in the same universe, you've seen these other movies and you enjoyed them, but for some reason you heard something online about this one, so now you don't want to watch it.
At what point are we going to start recognizing the fact that maybe Marvel's product is starting to slow down a little bit in the quality?
I just think
because that's not true.
No, that's not a true statement either.
Well, I just think this is not the one to base it off of because
of all the bashing.
Yeah, and it's an all women. I don't care what anybody says, but the fact I think that this is like an all women movie, I just feel like even the general public is going to look at it differently. Yeah. So I think the next movie that comes out, we need to look at how does it do.
Yeah, I mean,
to talk about. Are we heading in that way? But this is not. This is an outlier.
Okay, so let's pick the pro-white movie that came out, which would have been Ant-Man and the Wasp. Okay. It literally says it in there, the Wasp. That movie didn't get a lot of money either, right? In fact, they are now tied, or soon Miss Marvel will just go above it for the worst opening weekend of a Marvel movie. So my question becomes
how was Ant-Man pro-white? We can't just start the conversation.
I'm not saying it was pro-white. I'm making a joke. Follow along.
I didn't know what you were talking about.
Okay.
So my whole thing though is that when you talk about that movie that came out and it did not do well, again, regardless of whether you like something or not, regardless of how much I like Blue Beetle, that's not an overnight success by any stretch of the imagination. What point? They were already done it with DC where we said, okay, we're getting a little tired of the lackluster movies in our opinion, and you're starting to see the audience shrink on some of this stuff. When are we going to call that card out for Marvel?
It doesn't exist. And you talking about Ant-Man, the difference between this and Ant-Man is nobody was out bashing the actors in Ant-Man before the movie came out. Nobody.
No, they were just bashing the shit out of the movie. Forget that.
How'd the first one do?
No, but how did they bash a movie that hadn't come out yet? Is what I'm saying.
How does anybody? But it happens, right?
Not to the degree that it's happened with this movie. What are you talking about?
But my point is though, is if Ant-Man ends up doing worse than this one, okay, money wise, is that still the argument that we're going to use? Is that it didn't survive the bashing? If there are generally people out there that don't like a movie, regardless of how we may think it's good or not, which that happens all the damn time. Hell, that happens just between you and me, right? At what point do we get to say that, well, you know what, maybe Marvel, and again, I'm not saying it on this movie. I enjoyed this movie. I'm going to tell you right now, probably rated about a 7. I will be rewatching this again. I liked it, okay? But at what point does that general audience that you're talking about say, enough's enough, I'm done watching this?
I don't have an answer for you because the question doesn't make sense.
How does the question not make sense?
Because you're trying to paint a narrative. You're trying to paint a picture here.
I'm not painting a narrative on anything. I'm using facts of what happened.
But you're not using all the facts. You're not talking about every single Marvel movie that's come out over the past 3 or 4 years.
You want to go by one by one?
No, that's boring pod. We're not just
How is that boring pod?
Because you're just going to be regurgitating numbers and you hear numbers. There are other reasons behind the numbers. We had COVID. We had people. We had all kinds of stuff that happened over the past 3 years that have affected ticket sales. So there's a difference between just simply looking at ticket sales and saying, "Oh, this is a bad product." Versus,
you want to go by rating instead, or by an aggregate?
I definitely don't want to go by rating. Have you ever seen our show? You must have not watched the first year of ANX Gamecast. Nobody cares about ratings.
But have you gone through and sat there and gone and said, well, the critics are saying X, Y, and Z.
Don't care. Like, what are you talking about?
We don't care, right?
Right, don't care.
We don't. But does the average watcher of movies care?
But that has nothing to do with the quality of Marvel movies. If a random person,
quality goes down.
No. If Oscar, right, is watching a critic and simply going by based off what the critic says, then that will tip the scales. But it has nothing to do with the quality of the movie to the audience because they never watched the movie just because one person said it was bad or whoever they decided to listen to said it was bad for whatever reason. We don't even know if their reason was legit. We don't even know why they said it.
That's right. So the question goes back to...
So it has nothing to do with the quality of the movie. That has to do with people being dumb and just listening and just go watch the movie. If you're interested in the movie, just go watch the movie, people. Don't sit up here and be like, oh well, so and so said it was bad, so I'm not gonna watch it, bro. Is it good? And I'm gonna be like, yeah, it was good, man. You should go watch it.
Go watch those movies, right? If the audience member that goes and watches it is doing exactly that and comes out and goes, man, that movie was shit.
They're not doing that.
How do you know? You can't sit there and say that.
Because I talk to people. You just told me you didn't have no friends. I talk to people. Like, what are you talking about?
Okay, so we're talking about how many people? How you talk?
Lots.
100.
Lots. I got
Thousands.
more. I got more friends than games.
1,000.
I got more.
How many? You can't sit
There's
there.
8 billion people.
Thank you. Thank you. Right there. And all.
I just could tell that's where you were going.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, man.
No, I'm just saying. I got
bullshit. I got bullshit.
Okay, I got real world examples, not
great
internet numbers.
Do them. I'm not. Let's not talk anymore.
I just told you that is just
no,
one
example.
No, that is one
you
example.
You said I've got more friends. No, that's not an excuse.
No,
that's
that
not
is
fact.
that is one example.
That's a bad
that has
example.
happened over and over and over in real life, not some internet numbers that you came up.
Bullshit, though, man. These aren't internet numbers. This is like box office numbers. If you
no.
The bottom line is you don't get a third movie if your box office sucks.
You are looking at numbers and trying to make some kind of determination that it must be because Marvel's getting bad now. You're just making up stuff.
Hey, you're starting to make the same argument that you just did against Mortal Kombat.
What?
How can you sit there and take one point of view and sit there and say no?
What did I say about Mortal Kombat?
You took your opinion, right? You said this is why it sucks. Not arguing that opinion, but now you're doing the exact opposite of what you don't want done with Marvels because you don't want to sit there and say
no, because I watched the Marvel movies and they are still quality and I still enjoy them.
Not all of them,
and I still enjoy them. Generally speaking, Mortal Kombat, I played it and it was trash. How was that different?
I will tell you right now.
How was that different?
On Eternals, I hated that movie. That movie made me want to sleep. That's not a quality Marvel movie to me.
No, that is like a high quality Marvel movie.
No, I'll disagree. Cinematography on that movie was fantastic.
Hold on.
But it sucked.
And you want to call bullshit, but all you did was talk shit about Marvel movies because they were the same over and over and over, and they give you something different, and you want to say, "Oh, it was trash."
Every comic book movie is the same over and over and over.
The Eternals wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
You even said it wasn't.
I said the cinematography.
No, you said the movie as a whole was completely different than any movie that they've ever put out. Come on.
And it's
completely different. So
it sucked.
It didn't suck to me. It was a quality film.
That's fine. Why was it a quality film? Because that was your opinion on that take, and there's nothing wrong with that.
But you're trying to paint a picture that the quality is going down.
I am telling you, everything from script to the CGI is starting to falter, and that's not just me. Hell, that's the people making the CGI are saying they're overworking us, doing whatever. They're admitting to the CGI issues. Thankfully, the Marvels didn't really have that. I didn't butt up against anything that was bad CGI, except for the hologram thing when they were talking to Nick Fury. That was the only thing I butted up against.
All I know is that let's talk about Stans. Let's talk about fandom.
Let's go.
You are an admitted DC fan. That means we can't have this conversation objectively because you can't be objective about what's going on.
Because when I pull up logic on Marvel, you disagree because you're a Marvel
That's not
fan?
logic. You're not bringing up logic.
It's not logic you like.
No. You just simply bringing up numbers that you're getting off the internet is not logic.
You simply bringing up the fact that I know 100 people and this is what they say, so that must be everybody in the damn world.
Let me pull it right here. It was a joke, okay?
I know it was a joke.
So, but what I'm saying is you simply looking up numbers and not putting any context at all to numbers is not logic. That is not logical.
First off, was I asking questions about him? And you didn't want to answer it because that's not logic. It is logic.
No,
it's part of the logic.
No,
what you movies get made.
No, what you were saying wasn't logic. Was what I'm saying.
So do we just need to get a spreadsheet going and pull up all the Marvel movies to
No,
see if things are
why?
going down?
Because you know why? That's what a stan would do. That's what a DC stan would do to try to show that Marvel product is going downhill. When they consistently outsell DCU and put them out of business.
I did not say. Well, first off, we're not talking about the comic books. That's different. But secondly, I did not say that everything that DC did was right. I just said that I like DC.
No, but right, and that's the problem because here. The stuff you're talking about Marvel, and you want to keep trying to paint a narrative and trying to act like Marvel's going. Hold on.
Narrative.
It is a painted narrative.
Asking the question of that is a painted narrative.
You are painting the narrative while asking the question. That's how you paint a narrative.
I asked certain questions.
You don't have the same energy for anything DC related. Just because you admit, okay, they're not the greatest movies. You don't have this same.
Who has more product out there, DC or Marvel?
What does this have to do with what I just said?
It has a lot to do with
you don't have this same energy for DC. When DC puts out a bad movie, hell, when the Mortal Kombat movie came out, you didn't have one bad thing to say about it. We can't have an objective conversation about this because you are a DC stan. And that's also what's missing from the whole conversation.
I think you run into the problem that the moment that someone's going to disagree with you, more specifically, I don't even care about anyone else. The moment I disagree with you, you automatically assume, well, it's your opinion, you're wrong, you're a stand for DC, so it doesn't really matter. But that's not what I'm trying to say. Notice when you say I'm painting the narrative, you are saying, well, you're painting the narrative because what? Because I asked, hey, do you think maybe this is why it was done? Did I say The Marvels was a bad movie? Did I say I didn't like it?
That has nothing to do with your question. It doesn't have anything to do with your question. Because we said no. We both said no, and you just kept going because that's the narrative that you were trying to paint.
Because the amount of money that it's going to pull in is not going to be the same.
I watch, when you do Vagabond Nerves and it says 3 watchers, one of them is me.
First off, it's 2 watchers.
Okay.
So you're 50% of the audience.
One of them is me. And I've been hearing you on your show say the same thing for like 3 years now. You've been waiting for Marvel to just fall off a cliff. You just can't wait. Is this the year? Is this the year? You've been asking the same question for like 3 years.
When you put out the amount of content that Marvel does, the amount of content that any studio does, whether it's Marvel, whether it's Godzilla, right? Whether it's a Western, that question's asked. At what point do you stop?
At what point? At what point
does it start to falter? Sorry, that's what I was trying to say. At what point does that start to falter? That's an obvious. It's an honest question.
But it's not. It's not.
Why is that not an honest question?
Because it's not. Because what you're trying to say is happening is not happening. Generally speaking.
So because I asked if it's happening.
Why would you ask if something happening if, generally speaking, it's not happening?
Because we're seeing the numbers go down, and I'm sorry, you do see quality in certain things. They do go down. So you absolutely love Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
You're no problems with that at all. Not even like the floating heads that were going through there.
So again, you're leading the witness. You're painting a narrative. No problems at all. No problems at all. And just falling off a cliff with quality. When you talk to
me about DC, and on this show, when you talk to me about DC, do I sit there and I admit there were some things? Blue Beetle movie I absolutely loved. Did I not sit there and say, oh, there's problems with it? There is. But I still love it anyway because I know it's speaking to me in a different way than it would speak to you.
No,
I didn't allow you not to trash it, though.
No, what I'm saying about Love and Thunder is there's not enough problems.
Look at that look on her face.
What I'm saying about Love and Thunder is that there's not enough problems with the movie for me to say it's a bad movie.
Can I go back in time and change which round I was looking forward to the most? It's now this one.
I'm just saying. Yeah. Like I said, if we want again.
I think
if we want to continue to have this conversation and you want to bring numbers into it, context behind the numbers have to be involved. What was happening? Why did it happen? Because one of your quotes is that what we got with Endgame because of COVID will never ever happen again. So if we never get a $3 billion movie again because of COVID, what's going to happen to the rest of the movies?
What I said was the experience that we had with Endgame was never going to happen again. And I'm sorry, I believe that.
No, you might believe that, but that's not what you were talking about.
Well, I'm just going to go back to, I don't think this is the movie to base that possible theory on. Yeah. Because people are just going to be biased towards this movie, period, already. I think even if Captain Marvel had not come out and the complaints, the people that just didn't like it, I think this still wouldn't do that good. No. Because I think people have a unconscious bias, whether, not saying they're sexist, but like there's an unconscious bias against like an all women crew. You know what I mean? Like people just generally, they go towards the Iron Man and the Thor and the, you know what I'm saying?
I will say, watching this movie, that never once, and do not get me wrong, we've seen it with the A-Force and Endgame.
Yeah.
Never once crossed my mind about the leads. Never once. And I'm not saying that that's not everybody.
Right,
well,
right.
Well, I would have to say that it crossed your mind because you saw the bashing. It
And
might
see,
not
I
have crossed. It might not have crossed your mind as far as
but
like I have a problem with this, but you had to have thought about it at some point because of the bashing.
After. During the movie, no, because I want to be in the movie. I don't want to be in anyone's feels except for my own on the movie.
See, I didn't even know. I'm kind of unaware of.
Unbiased and.
Yeah. No, I am truly. I don't know. I think it's. I don't know what the deal is. I'm really busy at work and I'm on the phone all the time. I don't know if that is a thing.
I think she's saying we don't work, man.
No. But I miss all this stuff. I didn't even know that people were like really bashing this film. I seriously had not seen one thing about it.
I will say this. I normally don't like to know. Things get brought up to me that I don't.
Yeah.
I personally could give two shits less about. Right?
Yeah.
I really could. Individuals who sit there and want to take their time, as we're doing right now too, but those that just blindly lash out, I don't quite understand that. And so when someone says, "Hey, look at this," you know, because this is, you know, I kind of see where they're coming from. I'm like, I don't care. I will watch it. I will form my own opinion on it.
Yeah.
And I will like it regardless. I don't have the background that you had to go through to figure out a movie to, recommend or not recommend.
Mm-hmm.
I can absolutely go 100% off my feelings if I want to. Except for Expendables 4, I could spend a full day and a half bashing the shit of that movie.
He brings up Expendables.
I'm telling you. No. Not the Expendables films, just Expendables 4.
I mean,
it's just funny though because you always talk about Expendables.
Even the best Expendables films though are not good. I mean, come on.
They're cute.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This one was just horrendous.
Come on. These are not quality. These are not quality movies.
I'll pick on a different one. Anything on the Fast and the Furious after number 6, number 5.
Yeah, we fell off the target for those movies.
Yeah, and so that's what I'm trying to say, though. I know that there are bad movies out there that literally I could pick apart with other things other than just like, oh my God, I feel that was horrible, right? And going past that. At the end of the day, regardless of how you feel, I feel, you feel, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the audience going to do or not do?
Yeah.
I will say again, even with...
And what I'm saying is the audience reads what's trending. For all news.
A much larger part of it, yes.
For all news. Forget about a movie review. I'm talking politics. I'm talking sports. Whatever the narrative is on social media.
Hold on that thought real quick. Thank you, Texas. Like, I waited my entire
Shout
life
out.
for that.
Yep.
That World Series. You have no idea how happy that made me. And I'm a fan of theirs when they are under 500, and I'll still root for them. So seeing this was like the highlight of my year.
So whatever it is that's trending, that is the narrative people will run with.
Yeah.
So if anything is happening with this, that's what I would pin anything on, DC included. Because a lot of the times when I talk to these people and they ask me my opinion on these movies and should I go see it because I heard it was trash, a lot of them is DC movies. That's really what people are asking me about.
I will tell you
less Marvel movies, but
I will tell you what irritates me with the DC stuff. Those fans who absolutely want to bring back Zack Snyder and I'm just like, get the F over it.
Let it go.
Happened once, and I will say, and I said this on our show, that was the best recorrection of a movie and the worst decision from an executive standpoint that you could have done, because you created an entire subculture who now believes we're going to listen even at your ridiculous request, no matter how ridiculous.
Wait, are you talking about the Batman or
but they're not
Justice League?
Well, they're not. They don't think that now because
now
because they're firing everybody.
Yeah,
so they don't think that anymore. But
and good for them. Good for them.
Got to do something different. So anyway, can we
talk about that scene?
We forgot about that. Yeah.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
The most exciting part of the movie.
What?
How happy were you?
Goosebumps.
Was it goosebumps?
Like literal.
Yeah.
For real. Like goosebumps.
I love the fact it was Kelsey Grammer.
And I don't even like Frasier.
Oh yeah.
I love the
And
fact
I
that,
didn't even realize that.
and it's not because it was Kelsey Grammer. Like, I could care less about Frasier or the show. I never could get into it, right? But his portrayal of Beast was spot on. So
Yeah.
when it was him and not Nicholas Hoult Beast from the younger version, I was like, that's...
I
like
did
that.
not even realize that's who it
Like that.
was.
Yeah.
Do you think that was costume, though? Or do you think that was CGI for him?
Oh, I thought it was CGI.
Yeah, it was pretty quick,
Oh.
But
but
it was so quick, I didn't.
yeah, I
didn't
mean,
really
it
get a
bump
chance.
up against it, but I was like, I wonder if that was just him in
Oh.
a suit, or if they did what they did the first time and actually,
So
costumed him
this
up.
is what I've been waiting for. One gripe I will have with the current phase or whatever the hell phase. I don't even keep up with the damn phases anymore. I feel like this something like this should have happened in No Way Home. Something like this should have happened
Multiverse of Madness, maybe?
in Multiverse of Madness. Even it kind of did, but it didn't.
A little weird,
It
but
didn't cross over.
it was explainable in this movie to have happened in what happened with Monica. So it was really hard to do, but I didn't care about that because I'm looking at Beast,
It was
an X-Men,
Yeah.
Yeah.
in a Marvel movie, in an MCU proper movie.
Yep.
Yeah,
So-
well, they did it and it made sense because the two things that I've been saying, well, a couple of things I've been saying here. If they F up the X-Men,
Yeah, that's
like that is going to be the real decline of MCU. If they F this up, like
Yep.
they have to do it. Two, which I also had a problem with this in this movie. Where the hell were all the other Avengers? The universe is literally being ripped apart. Nobody else is around to help.
You didn't think Valkyrie was enough?
No, just pick up like
what
Uber.
about Kate Bishop?
The
You didn't think
Uber?
that was enough?
No, I mean she didn't do anything.
She didn't do anything.
I know.
So
Well, neither did Valkyrie really, except for just
She was
open
the
the
Uber.
bridge.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
Uber. So like that.
DoorDash.
So that part still is weird to me, and it's just like they need to do something, and it's been going
You've
on the
said
whole
that
time.
before.
Yeah. So
Do you take it though as the fact that after Endgame everyone's kind of dispersed and doing their own thing? So
Well,
is
but
the
you-
question: is there an Avengers left?
no, yeah, there is because in
But together?
Well, in She-Hulk, Hulk wasn't there at the end because he was up there helping him.
Yeah.
But when does that come into play? Where were you when this was going on? It's just they're going to have to tie that in together, or I'm going to have a major issue.
Do you think that's what Deadpool does? Deadpool 3, since that's what they're talking about.
Probably.
Is that the right movie to have that done?
Sure, because you can break down the fourth wall and anything that you can't make sense
You just
in writing,
just
you could just
fourth wall break
you
it.
can fourth wall it
Yeah.
because that's what he does.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he did in all the trailers. He's been, Mickey and the ears and all, So, it won't be the best, but at least it's explainable as from a Deadpool standpoint.
Yeah.
The other thing I didn't like about this, she specifically said I have to go in and pull it back from the other side, and then nobody else called like she's not coming back. That's the first thing I said in my head.
I said the same thing.
I said,
was
"She's not
like,
coming back."
Yeah. They
And-
were like, okay.
And then so they're like, oh, she was like, okay, you got to get out of there. She's like, no, I can't. It's like, yeah,
No.
that's what I got from what you said 5 minutes ago.
I will say that's my other question. Why did she have to do it from that side? Did they really explain that? Why it had to be done from that side?
I think she did in Techno Babble.
Was that what?
She seemed like she wanted to do that. The way she was like, no,
Yeah.
I'm going to stay.
Yeah, she was tripping.
And how come?
I mean,
I'm going to stay in this alternate universe.
so
Which
yeah,
worked
but-
out good for her mom.
Right.
All right. Except it's not her
Not
mom.
really her mom. Yeah.
Yeah, but it could be. Maybe not.
Maybe after they finish joining all these universes together, because that's the ultimate goal, right?
Because isn't she Captain Marvel?
No, if they go comic based, she's binary.
The mom?
Yeah, and it's more of a mutant than it is
Mhm.
what happened here with Monica.
Mm.
Yeah. Not. I don't like that it ended on a comedy thing, even though the whole movie was a comedy, generally speaking.
You mean with her saying, "Oh shit"?
Yeah.
I
didn't because there's a seriousness that I happen to have with the X-Men, and that just doesn't play with. I don't need this random oh shit person running around
Well, maybe
introducing all the
not.
X-Men.
Maybe not. We just talked about it being Daredevil that would start to kind of bring all this stuff together. Maybe that's quite in line with where they want to go with it.
It might be, but I don't.
I get your point,
Introducing X-Men in Daredevil is one thing, but if you have an X-Men movie but it's Monica who is in the movie,
Yeah.
right, doing whatever, figuring shit out. I don't want that. I don't want that.
I don't know what I want
It
from.
fit this movie. I don't want it to be the narrative for the next movie.
one. Yeah.
Well,
Does that make sense?
Well, again, and I'm going to say this now. I do hope there's another Marvel's movie. And I almost kind of want to see it with the same cast. I don't want them to go back to Carol or go back just to Monica. Like, I want to see all three of them again just because there is a chemistry there. Like, that's one thing I think we could agree on, that there was a chemistry. There may be some bad acting from time to time, but the chemistry between all three of them were good.
I just don't know how you. I mean, if you do get one, it won't be for a long time. I just don't know how you do it because she has to figure out this X-Men thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you get it with those three.
And how big of a part will Monica play into the X-Men role?
Unless there's a Monica that came through from the other side.
Switched?
Yeah.
Possible.
Because
That's
there
possible.
were multiple kind of stuff going on, right? There was a bunch of these wormhole things going on.
Yeah.
Which was the only reason then, that also begs the question, then the only reason to close that one was just because it was Earth and the Sun. Like, so we're now leaving, to your point, we're leaving all these other,
Rips.
time rips.
So another Monica could have closed one the same way and got left on our side. So I don't know. This is theories.
But I will say, Beast. So we know there's a multiverse, whereas in Beast, when he's talking to her, just acknowledges there's another universe, not multiple. He's just like, he goes, this shouldn't be happening, kind of thing. Very scientific manner. I did like that he was like, I got to talk to Professor X about this. I got to talk to Xavier.
Charles.
Yeah. And I love the fact that apparently that room was just outside of Cerebro.
Think so.
Right?
Yeah.
So again, it was really cool to see the fact that we now have the true first glimpse of the X-Men.
Yep.
So how many they keep around, what they changed.
I mean, Kamala Khan said it best. It's happening.
Yeah.
She said it best. I can't say it like she said it because, I'm not a little girl.
I don't think she is anymore either. I think she's like 21 now.
Oh,
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, wow. She looks so young.
So quick. You said a 7. But
I said about 7.
off top of the dome, you still sticking with a 7? Because it sounds like you at an 8.5.
Yeah.
You talking about rewatching it and
Again,
stuff?
but a 7's a rewatchable point for me though. And I know for you, I think a rewatchable is 8 and above, right?
No, there's no such thing.
So you can have an 8 or a 9 and not be rewatchable. Okay, fair enough.
I can have a 10 and not rewatch it.
Schindler's List. Yeah, I never watched that again.
Yeah. So I don't have like a rewatchable
true.
scale.
This was enjoy. Again, I didn't have a problem with it at all. I didn't. I really did enjoy
Disney
this.
Princess. You ain't had a problem with that?
I found it funny, but because I wasn't focused on them, I focused completely on the responses that both Kamala and Monica were giving. And if you focus on that, it becomes suddenly hysterical because they're doing the same thing the audience is doing. Like, what the hell's going on?
So full transparency here, I did, to break down the fourth wall, I did see the Funko Pop for her in the dress. It was like a spoiler that came up on my phone.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn it. So I didn't know what it was though.
Yeah.
Found out real quick. I was like, oh man, this is what they're doing. Would you recommend this
Yes.
to the average Joe?
Yes.
Like just the average Joe.
And that's because I know some average Joes who saw it. And not just because of that, I would recommend it because, to your point, no, I don't need to rewatch because they did plenty of exposition in the movie to explain everyone's coming back to it. So yeah, I would have no problem recommending.
What's your score off top of the dome?
7.5.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you recommend this to the average Joe?
No. And an average Joe already asked me, and I was like, no, I wouldn't see it. I was like, if you're a Marvel DC person, yeah, you should see it. Sure. If you're not, I would not see this. Yeah. I just thought it was so cheesy. The acting was bad. I mean, for Brie Larson, the Disney scene, I was just like, I cannot believe this. The cat scene, I was like, what's going on? It felt like Charlie's Angels. I just was like, I'm just.
I didn't even think about that.
I didn't. Now, hold on. Let me just clarify. I did not hate the movie. I wasn't like I'm not just like that was awful. It just wasn't good to me.
Yeah.
The only thing I liked was Kamala Khan and her family and their humor.
If you're going that high, but with that opinion, I am gonna have to change mine then to like an 8.
Well, that's based
Just
on
based
my.
off that.
That's
yeah.
based on like how I typically score.
Yeah.
Usually, the stuff that, and honestly, if I were to score this like the way we normally score it, it would be higher because the music, the cinematography, the quality, the graphics. Like, it was a good story. There's a bunch of good stuff, but if you're asking me just off the dome, it's like not that high.
Yeah, I feel like the story itself, like the main part of the story, why she was doing what she was doing, Darvin, was dope. I wish they would have shown more of it, but it was so dope. Like I said, the reason why she was doing what she was doing, like I like that. But so if I would have scored, I probably would give it an 8. I would not recommend this to an average Joe at all. Again, yes, somebody who's seen Marvel, yeah, I would recommend it to you. But just an average Joe, I would say no, because it's a little too weird.
The only reason I'm saying yes, because personally, an average Joe who's not really into the Marvel movies actually really enjoyed this. Really enjoyed it. And so I based off of their prior watching history of what I know, for them to enjoy the movie the way they did, I would recommend it. And they have no context coming into this one at all.
The other thing that bugged me is, and you already said it kind of, you said it on the other show, is that I do appreciate an hour and 45-minute movie. Don't get me wrong, I do. But I do felt like they could have taken certain things out and put other things in to fill that time. Like they focus on this whole weirdness between Monica and Carol. Right? Because
Auntie.
of the auntie, because of what happened. But then when they finally have this moment and they do this flashback and she's like, whatever, don't do that. And she's like, I didn't mean to. And then they have like a 30-second talk, probably less than that. And then everything is
with Kamala, by the way.
Right.
It wasn't even between the two. It was with Kamala.
Yeah.
15-second screen time talk, and then everything's smoothed over. And I just was like, that is just so weird.
It's bad. It was just those parts were bad to me. And then they kept doing them.
To your point of wanting to see an extra 10 or 15 minutes or something, the whole Annihilator scene, show me what they're going through. Show me why. Like, we know it because of the aftermath of it, but show it in real time.
Yeah.
Because I think that would have been a much stronger point for your antagonist.
Yeah. Yep.
Like some of the scenes in the Eternals. Just saying.
I think what I told you is I would have loved the Eternals more as a series, because it wasn't. They just didn't have enough time.
I kind of feel like this was like a Disney Plus series pieced together. And I'm not saying that as a knock. I'm just saying just the way in increments and things were happening. It's just, I feel like the whole Disney princess thing would have been just a whole episode, a 30-minute episode or something. It didn't last 30 minutes, but you know what I mean.
No, but I don't disagree with you.
Like, that would have been like, you know.
And it probably would have been played even higher for laughs as a 30-minute episode.
And again, I'm not saying that as a knock. I'm not, what's his name? Star Wars, Finn. What'd he say?
Oh.
You're not going to Disney Plus me. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like,
he said that was pretty funny though.
Yeah, but that was before Disney Plus was a thing. But I'm not saying that as a diss. It was just like, it seemed like it could have been chopped up and been a series very easily.
Again, I think there's some movies coming out that I wish were series, and there are some series that I think I wish were movies. You know, I that's just fact.
Well, they're gonna have to figure all that out. They're figuring it out on the fly. So again, to your numbers, there are things that are happening on the fly.
The fly is fine for a certain point, but
it takes years to make movies. I'm just saying.
It does not. Don't lie.
Yeah, movies.
I've heard it's only 45 days.
No, not these movies.
45 days.
Not these movies.
20 days.
Not these movies.
15 days.
Dallas Buyers Club, 2 days.
Yeah.
Those kind of movies, you can make in a month. Not these movies. So anyway, y'all ready to wrap it up?
Yes.
We went long. This is probably the longest podcast. This is not the longest podcast we've ever done, but this is the longest podcast we've done in a long ass time.
Yeah.
I just got one thing to say. Giveaway is live.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Red Bull.
No. Giveaway is live. See, I went head to head with you with no Red Bull. I just got the natural energy. It's the water. Giveaway is live. Make sure y'all check out that video. I'll probably try to put it in the end screen here somewhere. Blah, blah, blah.
4 hours of sleep and a slight hangover.
Okay.
And a 5K this morning, which, by the way, colorectal cancer. Okay, it's a real thing. Get it checked out because you don't want anything with cancer. Get it checked out. You don't want to have any issues that come up too late in the process. The earlier, the better.
Well, he acting like this the last pod he gonna ever do in life.
Just saying.
Ooh, we getting it all in. Rangers, cancer,
I sure
Marvel
did.
hate. I mean,
You know what this is? This is the Aquaman version of me where I just shove as much as I can into the storyline.
So this is a bad version of you.
No, this is one of the funnier versions.
All right, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for listening to ANX Gamecast. If you enjoyed the show, please make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when we release new episodes. See you next week.
Y'all click these videos. We got a new outro, but there's gonna be some videos here. Y'all click on them.
Click, click, click.